So the first thing I normally do, I remove my wedding ring. And I also like to wash my hands. Always. You want to wash your hands, make sure your hands are clean and not carrying any germs. It's never possible to remove every single bacteria from your hand, but your body can fight off one single bacteria very well, or even a few dozen or a few hundred. When bacterial concentrations are very high, that's what gets you sick, because your body just can't handle dealing with so many of them. So we're gonna make healthy ravioli. Now this is a ravioli that we buy in Costco, and the reason why we buy this brand is it's healthy. It doesn't have a lot of stuff to keep it preserved. Usually anything that has a lot of preservatives or anything that's in a can, then usually it means that it's not that healthy. But something like this that you have to keep cold, if you have to keep it cold, it means it can go bad real quick. So which means it has less preservatives. So here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make healthy ravioli, and this is real easy. You don't have to be a professional in the kitchen to do this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get the very small tomatoes, and the reason why I like using these small tomatoes instead of the big one. Remember, tomatoes are not a vegetable. They're actually a fruit. And these smaller ones tend to have a slightly sweeter taste. They have less water content, and they tend to be thicker and have a darker color. They tend not to lose their colors very easily. Now I did wash these before. You should always wash fruits and vegetables. Ideally you want to use water with some baking soda, but it's not a must, but that would really help. So we are in between blenders right now, so I'm using my magic bullet and I'm dropping some tomatoes in, and that's the first set. And then here's what I'm going to add. I'm going to add olive oil. Being from the Caribbean, I really like coconut oil, but coconut oil tends to be a bit too strong for something like this, so we use olive oil. Don't need to use a whole lot. Then, with that done, we cover this, and then we put it on the magic bullet. And of course, this is what it's going to look like when it's all done. So we're going to pour this into the pot, and then we'll come back and make some more. So here's a pot. Take off the cover, and we pour our mixture in.
Yum!
See, it has that nice red color. So the question that some people ask me is, how long do you run the magic bullet or the blender? It depends. If you really like a nice mushy sauce with that you can actually feel some of the pieces of tomato in your mouth, then you don't want to do it for too long. If you like it like a liquid, like a soup that you can pour over your ravioli, then you can keep it much longer. Okay, so here's what we're going to do for the last set of tomatoes. We have a few tomatoes there, and garlic. This is natural antibiotic, very good. Now some people like to get their garlic already peeled from the store, but I prefer to get my garlic raw and just peel it myself. And the trick to getting the garlic peeled easily, just use a broad knife, press down. Once you press it out, then usually the skin just peels off. It's easy to remove, just like that. By squashing it with a knife, the skin is just easy to remove, and then we just toss that in. How much garlic? It depends on you. How much garlic can you tolerate? If you're from India, or you're from the Caribbean like me, or you're Italian, then you probably like a lot of garlic. If you're not a garlicky person, then you can use less. It all depends on your taste. So we have that, and what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna put a dash more juice in, just to make it easy on the magic bullet to get that swirling around. We put it in. Good. So that mixture is done. So we bring back our pot, and we have a nice, rich mixture. It doesn't look very nice right now, but later on it's going to look much better. So all of this is natural, bought fresh from the store or the market, and this is much better than going to a fast food store and buying cheap stuff. Remember, at the fast food store, it fills you, but there's hardly any nutrition because everything is processed, and they've processed it so much that all the valuable nutrients are gone. So right now, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna cover this, and we're gonna put it on the stove on a high flame until it starts to boil. Okay, so while the sauce, the salsa, is on the stove on a high flame, then we can start opening the ravioli. So this is made from real chicken and real flour, and is not filled with preservatives and other things that are going to ruin your health. And it's by using natural stuff and natural fruits and vegetables and all of that, it helps the cultures in your stomach, the good bacteria in your stomach. And there's a show on Netflix called Second Brain, and it tells the importance of the stomach in keeping our health and keeping us healthy. And the vast majority of Americans who have serious health problems, it is because of bad nutrition. And the research is out there. I've read it. I mean, you can go out there and read it, but not eating properly. There's an abundance of food here in the United States, a lot. But unfortunately, the quality isn't always there, and that's what is hurting people. So a lot of people they're a very huge size, but there's very little nutrition in what they eat. So even though the healthy stuff might cost a bit more, to compensate, eat less. That's what I do. Unfortunately, I'm still on the chubby side because I have to admit I'm a lover of chocolate and pastry. All right, so we're gonna wait for the sauce to boil, and then we can put it in. So as you can see, the sauce has started to boil, and you must always cover it. That will help it boil much quicker, and it prevents your sauce from splashing all over the place. So we're gonna put that in. I'm brave, so I can use my hand. And then after that is in, I cover it. I give it a nice hearty shake with the cover on, just to make sure that they sink. And we're gonna allow that to boil for about 3 minutes. You can observe it from the outside since it's a glass cover, and once the ravioli begins to swell and display that change in texture, that indicates that the heat has penetrated all the way through. Bear in mind that this is pre-cooked ravioli, so the chicken inside and the flour, it's pre-cooked, semi-cooked. So after 3 minutes of boiling, that's enough to get it to cook properly, because basically what you're doing is warming it up, but you're finishing the cooking process completely. And once that's done, you're ready to eat. This is not very hard. If you buy the tomatoes and everything at the store, and you buy stuff pre-cooked at the store, instead of spending time on the road in traffic, wasting gas, buying stuff for your kids that are not healthy, then you can prepare something healthy very quickly. And that's a plus, and this family gets to spend more time together. Now, why did I use the blueberry smoothie? Well, the main reason is the color. The purple color helps to boost the natural red color of the tomatoes and keeps that color closer to red. When you purchase stuff like that, whether it's in a can or a jar, that red color, that sharp red color, is actually coloring. Excuse me. Nothing in nature is going to give you that sharp red color unless you add like ¿cómo se dice remolacha? I'm sorry, the word just slipped me in English. I know in Spanish it's remolacha. Beets. If you use beets, they have that bright purple color, and once you pour it into this, it tends to get diluted and it will go down to a red. But it might be too purple, so you might want to add a little bit and stir it in until you get that color. So we're going to allow this to cook for 3 minutes, and then we shall eat. So there we have it. That's the finished product, and of course we're all ready to eat. It's lunchtime. So that's it, as simple as that. If you have any questions, please send me an email, Felipe, Felipe, at CRAIG, or send me a comment through Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to answer. And please remember to subscribe. If you have any questions about anything, I'll make a video about it, and I will present this as it's easy to understand. So please subscribe and wait for my videos to appear.